Okay, so welcome to the first episode of the Kit Room. On today's episode, I want to talk with you about personal safety and how to look after yourself and the sort of equipment you need to look after yourself if it all goes a little bit wrong in the mountains, as it sometimes can. And that might be for you if you're having a bad day and something goes wrong, or you might come across somebody who slipped or tripped or had a fall and they might need your help. So that's the sort of context of what we're going to be talking about today. And the equipment and the sort of techniques I'm going to show you and discuss today are applicable to hill walkers, mountain runners, trail runners, just basically anybody who's enjoying the mountains or the hills. So hopefully you'll find this of some use. Okay, so before I even leave the house in the morning, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the forecast. I'm going to use a range of forecasting services. So I use Mountain Weather Information Service, or MWIS. I use Met Office Mountain Forecasts. Sometimes I'll use yr.no or yr.no, which is the Norwegian Weather Service. And what I'm trying to do is build a picture of what's going on in the mountains, and using these sort of 2 or 3 weather sources to gain a better understanding of what's going on above in the sky for that day. And sometimes you'll see a little bit of conflict between different forecasting services, which is why I like to use a range rather than just committing to one, because at least then I know broadly what they're all saying. So yeah, just trying to gain a greater perspective of what's going on in the skies is quite a good first thing to do. Then second of all, make sure that my plan is appropriate given the weather. So if I'm looking at doing Cribgoch with some people that have never done a ridge like that before, and I just look out the window right now, it's sunny here right now in Conwy, so I might say, yep, today's a good day to do Cribgoch, but the weather forecast could be saying 60, 70 mile an hour winds at the top of the mountains. So making sure you pick the right objectives for the weather is quite important, and that will reduce the risks as well, because you're not putting yourself into a corner that you've got to fight yourself out of. If you find yourself on a sharp ridge in high winds or thunderstorms, then you're going to have to use more techniques, you're going to have to use more skill, more judgment, and that's where things can really go wrong. So making sure you pick the right plan for the day is super important. And then once I've done that, I'm going to pack my bag appropriately for the day. So winter time right now, there's quite a lot of snow around. So first of all, I need to be able to navigate at this time of year. So if it's like, it's a blue sky summer day and you're going up the Llanberis path, you still need to understand how to use maps, because things can go wrong, or you might need to get rescue and you might need to know where you are. But wintertime really emphasises the need for good levels of navigation. So I'm going to make sure I've got the right maps in my bag. I'm going to make sure it's all folded and packed ready on my page, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the skills and the techniques to use that equipment, because at this time of year in winter we can get white out. Absolute no visibility, you don't know which way is up or down, and you need some quite advanced techniques to stay safe in that environment given that weather. So again, summertime, I might make sure that I've got a map and a compass. I might not really use it, but I'll always make sure I've got it in there. And I'll also make sure that the equipment that I've got in my bag is suitable. So again, wintertime, lots of layers, lots of gloves, spare layers, which I'll talk about in a minute, and some emergency kit, which again we'll go on to in just a second, and some some warm drinks or hot drink. And some food. So I'm making sure that I cover myself for all these eventualities that might happen. If it's the summer, I might take extra water, because I actually don't use a lot of water in the winter, but that's quite personal. I might take half a litre or a litre of water if I'm on my own. But if I'm with clients, then I normally take 1 litre to 2 litres. But the summer, you need to take extra water, and at least make sure the people in your group are carrying extra water on hot summer days. And then once we've got our bag packed, we've chosen our objective and we've got out into the mountains, everything normally goes fine and you have a great day out. But on those sort of terrible days when things can go a little bit wrong, or somebody else is having a really bad day, we need to make sure that we've got the equipment with us and the knowledge to be able to protect ourselves and maybe other people in our party or anybody else that we come across in the hills who might be in need of our assistance. So that's when we have to fall back on our emergency kit, which is really what the topic is about in this discussion. Sort of what sort of kit to take with you, and what's the sort of the go-to items. So first of all, I always make sure that I carry a spare layer with me. So I've had this jacket for ages. It's one of the first proper bits of kit that I bought, and it is still going strong. And it's a large Montane Prism jacket. The reason why I like this jacket is it's got a Pertex outer, which is basically like a windproof material outer, and it's got like a synthetic layer of insulation on the middle. So it's a warm jacket. It doesn't lose heat if it gets wet. So even if it gets soaking wet, it'll still provide, some insulation. And I actually use this, I'll throw this over the top of people, or I've used it myself as well when it's a really, really cold day. I'll just throw it over the top of my waterproofs. And it's brilliant. So warm and really, really small as well, really packable. So this generally always comes out with me into the hills, and it's a larger size so that it can go over everything. I actually bought it the large size by accident. It was just because it was really, really cheap. It was on discounts on the internet, but absolutely brilliant. And it comes with me everywhere into the hills. So big jacket is quite a good bit of kit to take out with you. Next up is a shelter would be the next bit of kit that I'll take out with me. You've got the sort of the budget end, which is something like this. So if there's two people, Life Systems do a survival shelter 2. You can pick these up for about £15. They open up into a big bag and you put it over everyone in the group, well, the two people, or you can get these into different sizes. So this is a 2-person. They do it in like a 4, they do it in an 8, they do it in like a 12 and a 16. So you basically get your people inside the shelter, sit in the corners, sit down, and you'll actually be amazed at how much the temperature will rise in one of these shelters. They are a real life-saving bit of kit. This particular one is really durable. The material is like a really thick sort of, I don't even know what material it is, but it's like a thick waterproof material, and it's brilliant. Absolutely bomb out, tough, durable. I've had this for years. Really like these, but for 15 quid, you can't really turn it down. You know, this is definitely something that you should have in your backpack if you're going out into the hills or the mountains. So yeah, that sort of shelter, brilliant. Obviously with anything you can buy more expensive bits of kit, you can go higher in price and get a lighter weight. So this is the Summit Super Light, which is this one. Zoom in there. And I really like this shelter. Now these are, I think they retail at around about £30. So it's double the price of the other shelter, but really light. Like pack size, quarter of the pack size of the other shelter. It is loads lighter. So that is about the size of a bit bigger than the size of a clenched fist. And yeah, brilliant, you know, and good for runners as well. So if you're a mountain runner, you know, or you're a trail runner, or you want to go really fast and light, so maybe you're a mountaineer or you're a climber as well, you don't want to carry lots of big things in your backpack because you've already got a lot in there. Something like this little shelter would be ideal. There are downsides with anything when you go lightweight, that you lose durability and you will lose a little bit of the insulation level as well. So whereas the Life Systems shelter that I've just shown you is really thick material, this is a lot thinner. So the sort of little things like it clings to you a little bit more in sort of heavy rain when you've got it wrapped around you. So it can be a little bit more like a thin parachute material, but it will cut the wind out, completely cuts the wind out, and will bring the temperature up. So a nice lightweight option, but it's got its downsides, so you just have to be mindful of that. So if it's going to be an absolutely gopping horrendous day with 70-80 mile an hour winds, you know, and you are determined to go out, then something like that, I would be concerned about taking one of those out in absolutely horrendous weather, just because of the how thin they are. Yeah, so I'd probably go for something much bigger. But these are brilliant. I really love them for the right use, for the applicable use. And we just spoke a little bit about mountain runners and that sort of stuff. If you want to go super, super lightweight, there are these sort of SOL little bivy bags, which are these. These are Survive Outdoors Longer, or SOL, d'urgence bivouac. So it's a tiny little foil shelter that you can climb into, and it will provide a moderate amount of life support. So you might get, you might sort of stay a little bit warmer, or you might stay alive for an extra hour with one of these, but they are limited. The smaller you go and the thinner you go, the less protection it gives you. That's the bottom line. And then ultimately, we have got the sort of the real, in my opinion, this is one of the best bits of kits you can get. Bits of kit that you can get. And this is the Blizzard bag. So many of you may have seen the Blizzard bag, and I'll do a little video of me using this as well, so you can see me using this. The Blizzard bag is superb. This is like a coat. So they do two different types. They do like a sleeping bag, and they do like a jacket. And it's basically just a big orange foil blanket which has got lots of layers in it, and you put it over the top, and it's got plastic arms, and brilliant, absolute lifesavers. They're used by Mountain Rescue, so Ogwen Mountain Rescue have got a deal going with Blizzard, so Blizzard provide them with lots of these, and I think the Llanberis Mountain Rescue team have as well. It's 230 grams, it's vacuum packed, it is tiny, and it is a lifesaver. So I could not recommend these enough. Yeah, just brilliant. The good thing about this is you can put it over the top of somebody and you can walk them off the hill. So if you're in really bad weather, you might not have the opportunity to, or you might not want to just lie there waiting for rescue. You might want to get out the bad weather, or you want to get a bit further down. So if it's like walking wounded type situations, or somebody's maybe hurt their leg, but you can help them and assist them get down the hill to somewhere that they can get, assistance a little bit quicker, then these are brilliant, and I would definitely recommend adding one of those. I think they're around about £20-25. I'll check that, but yeah, they're about £20-25, but I would definitely recommend putting one of those in your backpack. Other things that you can consider as well is this is like a little waterproof mobile phone case, so making sure that your phone is charged up and is in a waterproof case. I've started taking a GoPro camera with me, so I don't use my phone anymore for taking pictures, merely because it's my only form of getting help. So if I use my battery by taking loads of selfies and stuff, as we all do, we're gonna lose that one bit of emergency kit that we've got to contact the outside world. So I really do, put a lot of value in protecting my phone and making sure that it's kept dry and all that sort of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed today's talk, and if anything, you just gained a little bit more insight in the sort of things to carry with you in a bag to get you out of trouble. There's obviously lots of extra things that you could carry, like walking poles to help people off the hill, but in today's topic I thought, because of the time constraints, I didn't want to go waffling on too long, so I thought I'd talk about those sort of rescue bits of kit that you can use if things go a little bit wrong. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, give our Facebook page, The Mountaineering Company, a like, and check out our courses and events on themountaineeringcompany.co.uk, and on there is all the dates for all the courses and events that we offer throughout the year.